and welcome to NWIBRT's Meet the General Contractor. Today we have Hasse Construction as our guest, and we are so happy that you are joining us today. NWIBRT, Northwest Indiana Business Roundtable, is an independent, nonprofit council of local firms committed to the improvement and construction and maintenance projects here in Northwest Indiana. We promote safety, quality, and cost-effective solutions to challenges faced by owners, contractors, and labor in the region. If you'd like more information about NWIBRT or you'd like to join us, please check out our website at NWIBRT.org or follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, and our new YouTube channel, which we are constantly updating with new content. We're on a GoToWebinar platform today, so you don't have to worry about any of your volume coming through. You're automatically in muted mode. We will be doing a Q&A with questions from all of you in attendance at the end. So if you have any questions you would like presented to Hasse, the team that we have here today, please enter them in the question field and send them over. We will get to as many of those questions as we can through the at the end of the presentation, and we appreciate your feedback and your engagement with this presentation. With that, I will now pass it off to the main act here. We have Hasse Construction. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Stephanie. So my name is Linda Navas. I am the executive assistant at Hasse Construction. I've been with Hasse Construction for 24 years. And my main job here is to keep these guys in line. So we're going to start it off right away. And I'm going to introduce you to our team today. First, our president, Bill Hasse. Bill has been our fearless leader for over 35 years, with the company for 40. And Bill will be talking to you about our company history and philosophy. Second, we have our vice president and our man of many hats, John Hasse. John has been with the company for 30 years. John will be speaking with you first about safety and then jumping in later with some notable projects. Third, our vice president of estimating, Fred Armstrong, will be talking with you about Hasse's estimating, markets, and services. Fred has been keeping us all running at full speed for the last 15 years. Joining John with some notable projects for Hasse Construction will be our very own fourth generation, no pressure, Billy Hasse. Billy Hasse. Billy has been a project manager with us for almost 4 years now. So Bill Hasse will then let you know a little bit about Hasse Construction's community involvement and how important we all feel here it is to give back to the community that we work in. So from here, I'm going to hand you on over to Bill.
Well, good morning and welcome to the webinar. My name is Bill Hasse. I am president of Hasse Construction Company. I'm going to give you a little background about myself and the company, and then turn it over to John on safety. I'm a civil engineer from Purdue. I started my career at ARCO as a refinery engineer for 3 years before joining the family business in 1981. So I've got almost 40 years of history with this company and the industry. Hasse Construction Company is a regional general contractor serving the Chicago and the Northwest Indiana marketplace. We are a union contractor employing many of the finest building tradesmen in the area. This is a group of trained, experienced field personnel, along with the capabilities of our project management staff, create a strong, professional, and qualified team to take any project on. We perform as a general contractor, primarily, but also work as a construction manager, a design builder. We also do our own self-performed civil, underground, and concrete work. And we also provide ground-up real estate and development work. We perform in the industrial, the commercial, the medical, and in the public bid building and underground utilities business. Now I'm going to give you a brief rundown on a quick 100 years in business and how we got to where we're at today. It all started back in 1920 as a company called Independent Paving and Public Construction Work, where my grandfather was involved, did a lot of takeover work for failed contracts in the road building industry. After that, in 1933, he won $33,000 post-recession or post-depression in the Irish sweepstakes, and allowed him to then buy out one of the partners and become an owner in the business. In 1956, William Hasse Jr., our father, a graduate from the University of Illinois in civil engineering in 1950, joined the company as a project engineer. In 1966, he became president of Hasse Construction Company. In 1981, I joined the firm, and in 1984, I took over after my father passed away following a brief illness. In 1991, John Hasse joined the company, and in 2000, during the Great Recession, Hasse received its largest contract to date, which was to build an air plant at the Proxair facility in Whiting, Indiana. And it helped us bridge the gap of the recession going on at that time. In 2017, we had Kimberly Hasse O'Halloran and Billy Hasse joined the company as the fourth generation to the business. And in 2020, we celebrated our 100 years in business, a milestone, and hopefully this year we'll have a party to show for it. I wanted to talk briefly about the culture and philosophy of our company. We keep it simple and we do our job, but we follow the Associated General Contractors motto of skill, responsibility, and integrity. The skill is our tradesmen, our subcontractors, and our suppliers. Our responsibility is to take charge of a project, be accountable for its results, and turn it over in good shape. Our integrity is to provide honest, fair, and quality work for what we charge. On values, it's simple again. We like to treat everyone how you would like to be treated. Our employees, our subcontractors, and our clients. Our goal is to make a positive difference in the lives of our employees, in our clients, and our community. Linda, back to you.
Thank you, Bill. And now we're going to go over to John, who's going to tell you about safety for Hasse Construction.
Thanks, Linda. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Hi, everyone out there watching us on WebEx. I'm John Hasse. I've been here at Hasse for 30 years. A little bit about me to start with. I worked summer construction as a laborer, graduated from Purdue University, Lafayette with a BS in civil engineering. I worked for a civil engineering firm in Itasca, Illinois before coming back to Hasse Construction. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the states of Indiana and Illinois. Bill and I have 5 siblings, and Bill and I are the only 2 in the business. I'd like to spend a couple minutes talking to you about our safety culture here at Hasse. Our Hasse corporate goals are trying to create a safe work environment for all our employees. That's pretty common for all contractors, but here at Hasse, as being a co-owner and also in charge of safety, there's a direct link between company ownership and safety. We also maintain an open door policy for all our safety and our tradespeople. Always feel free to come by and talk to me and call me. Hasse is a leader in the industry when it comes to comparing safety statistics. We've been recognized by NWIBRT, Northwest Indiana Business RoundTable, of course, Safety Award every year since 1998. It's 22 consecutive years. For those who like numbers, our current EMR is 0.72. We've had 4 straight years of 0 recordable incidents and a 0.0 incident rate. These rates make us leader in the safety industry. Here at Hasse, we review current employee training. We identify and perform new and additional training as required every year. We keep documentation and provide such documentation to owners as requested. We identify areas of need and perform training as the needs arise. And we perform special training required for high-risk tasks. For instance, we work in a lot of industrial plants. A lot of industrial plants have been around for 100 years, and they have a lot of stuff in the ground that they know of and don't know of. We created a policy to excavate safely inside existing manufacturing and industrial plants. The sole purpose of trying to make sure that we don't damage any of the existing infrastructure in those plants. Employee involvement, we involve our union employees in all our safety directions and discussions required on the various trades, carpenters, laborers, finishers, etc. We have safety subcommittee meetings that we involve our tradesmen in. We hold quarterly safety-wide corporate safety meetings. And we have a Q&A session after every corporate meeting so the employees get a chance to be heard and talk about various things that are going on out there. All our employees have the authorization to stop work if they see a safety problem. Our superintendents perform safety observations daily during watching with their crews. Our project managers perform safety observations when they visit the job sites. We hire third-party safety professionals to perform safety observations throughout the year, and then these safety observations are given to me in written reports, were reviewed by team members, and any issues or concerns are corrected. Hasse currently is approved to work in all locations that require like a third-party safety pre-qualification company. And some of the companies you've probably heard of that do the third-party safety pre-qual would be like IS Networld, Browse, Avetta, etc. So that's a little bit about our safety. Back to you, Linda.
Thanks, John. Fred, please take it from here for an introduction into Hasse Construction's estimating services and markets.
Thanks, Linda. Hasse prides itself that we can jump in and help our clients with any of the projects they might have. Hasse has experience and is currently involved with many markets that include industrial, chemical refineries, food manufacturing, transportation, commercial, institutional, underground utilities, and restaurants. The services that Hasse can provide your team include land acquisition, land development, design build, construction management, general contracting, cost estimating, and scheduling. To perform these services, we continually maintain and update our information technology. The IT available to us allows us the use of state-of-the-art software such as on-screen takeoff, MC² estimating, Primavera, Microsoft Projects, CMIC construction document management, as well as being able to work remotely via Zoom and other platforms. Our job site supervisors are completely tooled up with laptops and tablets to coordinate and execute the work in the field. In addition to our extensive subcontractor partners, we have the ability to self-perform many facets of construction. Underground work that we do includes excavation, dewatering, shoring, and site utilities, such as storm, water, and sewer. Above ground work that we perform includes demolition, miscellaneous steel, concrete, and carpentry. We also can perform some of the final finishes on a project, such as millwork, doors, painting, flooring, ceilings. With our metal building franchise, we have the capability of providing the furnish and erection of pre-engineered metal buildings. Hasse is available to meet and become a part of your team on your next project. We can assist with project scope definition, project budgeting and scheduling, and the management and coordination and construction of the project, leaving you available to continue your normal day-to-day duties. We look forward to working with you on your next project.
Thank you, Fred. From here, I'm going to hand it over to John and Billy so they can tell you a little bit about some of the amazing projects we've been able to work with or work at here at Hasse Construction.
Great. Well, welcome back, everybody. Of course, I'm John Hasse. You already got to hear me once. I'm going to talk about a few jobs, and then Billy's going to talk about a few jobs that we've done, just to give you a flavor of what we can do here. As Fred mentioned, one of the things that makes us special here at Hasse is all the varied markets that we serve. Billy and I would like to share some of these jobs with you so you can see the different types of projects and delivery methods we're accustomed to using. No matter what you want to build, Hasse has the experience to get it done. We're going to pop up a few pictures, hopefully, on the screen that you can take a look at. Yep, great. So first we're going to talk about some commercial stuff, the commercial markets, Albert's Jewelers and Mountain View office building. Albert's constructed the complete interior demolition and build out of a 10,000 square foot new Albert's Jewelry store in Cherville, Indiana. They had new retail space out front, some additional workstations in the back. Albert's was so happy with the work we performed that they hired Hasse again to perform their expansion a few years later. Fountain View, Hasse was the design build contractor of this new modern office building on the south side of Munster, Indiana. The office was a 2-story, 40,000 square foot office building, complete with imported marble facade. Construction cost was about $7 million. The next slide we'll talk about is underground utilities and roads. You'll see a couple pictures from Guthrie Street and Howard Street Pump Station and Interceptor. Guthrie Street has to use a contractor for a $12 million underground utility and road reconstruction project that's currently under construction in East Chicago, Indiana. One of the largest public work utility projects performed here at Hasse. The project consists of reconstructing over a mile of Guthrie Street. Approximately 40,000 yards of excavation, 15,000 tons of asphalt paving are also involved. Our team worked around many obstacles that come with reconstruction and a utility system that's over 100 years old. On Howard Street Pump Station, we constructed a $8 million pump station and a 78-inch diameter sewer for the city of Hammond. 10,000 square foot pump station and large diameter sewer required excavation and sand down to 30 feet. That's 20 feet below the groundwater table. The pipe was big enough to walk through. Special dewatering, shoring, concrete forming, and earth moving equipment was required. On the next slide, we're going to talk about transportation a little bit. You'll see George Lake Pedestrian Bridge and the Gary Airport. The George Lake Pedestrian Bridge, Hasse was the award-winning contractor of this new pedestrian bridge in Hammond, Indiana. It was built with RDA funding. This $5 million bridge connected bike trails over the Calumet Avenue. Hasse was awarded the Project of the Year by the Construction Advancement Foundation for this one. And last for me would be the Gary Airport. Hasse performed many projects for airports. At the Gary Airport, we constructed concrete apron expansions and built hangars. One of the pictures you see is one of the 40,000 square foot, 250 foot clear span hangars we built. This one's for the B. Coleman. We've also built them for the Gary Jet Center. These hangars can accommodate 4 large cabin airplanes and 8 small aircraft. Hasse was recognized with a national award for the B. Coleman hangar you see there. Well, that's me. We'll turn it over to Billy. He's going to talk about a few other markets and show you some pictures. Billy?
Yep. Thanks, John.
Sure.
Thanks, everybody, for joining and watching this presentation. First, I'm Billy Hasse. I'm project manager, as Linda mentioned. I've been with the company almost 4 years. A little background about me: I have a degree in building construction management from Purdue University in West Lafayette, and then went on to get my MBA, the concentration in real estate development from University of Denver. Worked for a couple other general contractors in the Chicago area and national apartment developer and operator as well. So just to follow up on John's discussion, I want to touch on 4 other core markets that we serve. Those core markets are institutional, municipal, industrial, healthcare, and food and beverage. So starting off, we'll start first with institutional municipal. And the first project that you see when it comes up would be the Lost Marsh Clubhouse, which is located in Hammond. This is a 45,000 square foot, 2-story building. It's located at the Lost Marsh Clubhouse, or a golf course. And this project actually was awarded 2010 Public Works Project of the Year. The second project you see at the bottom left there is the Munster Outdoor Pool. This is kind of a different project you don't get to do too often. So this is a large pool over at Munster. And the third project you see on the screen is a project called Bulldog Park for the city of Crown Point. This was a $11 million project. It was a 2.3 acre recreational park consisting of a 2-story amenities building that houses offices, concessions, a Zamboni room, and also the park includes an NHL-sized ice skating rink, an amphitheater, splash pad, and an event lawn. It's a cool space. We performed a lot of the self-performed a lot of the carpentry on this project, and it was awarded 2020 Public Works Project of the Year. Some other notable projects that really aren't pictured here. We have a $7 million wastewater treatment plant expansion at the town of Cherville. We added 2 clarifiers and an aeration system. We also do work at the Lake County Government Center, remodeling courtrooms and other departments there. And we've built the Dyer, Gary, and Lake Ridge fire stations. So some other municipal projects. Moving on to industrial, the first project you see on the top left there is a $26 million project for Proxair. It was SMR 5 and 6 hydrogen plant expansion. As Bill mentioned, it's one of the biggest projects we've ever done. In larger scope, this was a $100 million project that was split in between 4 contractors on a GMP contract. So it was a pretty big one for the area. The next project is a $12 million ArcelorMittal 80-inch walking beam furnace civil package. This was at Burns Harbor. Here we performed over 100 H-piles, and we also self-performed over 12,000 cubic yards of concrete. This project was awarded 2020 Industrial Project of the Year by CAF. The other project is Gas Technologies Institute. It's a solid fuel conversion building. It's a high pressure and explosion proof 5-story building. And the other project listed here is the BP Coker building. This is a 70,000 square foot, 100-foot tall building as part of the 2008 capital expansion project by BP. Another project that's worth noting that's not pictured here is a 10 amp, it's called Job 8. It's a 10 amp, well, we built 10 amp stations every 100 miles and stretching from Chicago all the way to New York. This was part of a project to build a fiber optic line that would decrease the time it would take for high frequency trading going from Chicago to New York. So it was actually featured in a book called Flash Boys. Moving on to healthcare, another one of our core markets. The first project you see is North Point Orthopedics. This one we just recently completed in Munster. It was a $10 million medical office building there. The next project to the right of that is a $10 million interior build out for St. Mary's Medical Center in Valpo. And now we're actually back there again, putting a 3rd-story addition onto the existing facility. The third project is Pinnacle Hospital, and this was a completely brand new $18 million, 75,000 square foot, 5 operating rooms and 18-bed hospital in Crown Point. And the fourth one on this list is a community hospital, 4-story MOB. This was built in 2000, and as Bill kind of alluded to at the beginning, this was a project we actually took over from another contractor. And moving on to our final core market, it's food and beverage. So the first photo you'll see is 3 Floyd's Brewery. At this building, we did a new metal building addition where it houses the new bottling line and a 2-story distillery. Second photo there is Bomber's Barbecue Restaurant build out in Munster, Indiana. And listed at the bottom are various other projects in the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana area. Don't have photos for these because a lot of times you can't get in and take photos. But our clients are Pepsi, Aquafina, General Mills, Kraft Heinz, Cargill, Now, and Mondelez. As John and I have mentioned, these are kind of our core main markets that we serve. As you can see, we have a large core market diversity and years of diverse project experience, which is something we're really proud of here at Hasse, and believe it gives us a competitive advantage for any project that we undertake, just having experience to know what we're getting into and how to problem solve. So with that, say thank you and pass it back to Linda.
Thanks, John. Billy. From here, I'm just going to hand you on back to Bill Hasse, who's going to let you know what Hasse Construction is up to in our community.
Hello again, and we're close to wrapping this up, so stay with us. Hasse's community involvement and philanthropic support has been going on for quite a while, and it's our social responsibility to give back to the community that we serve. Hasse makes contributions of their time, their talent, and financial support to over 40 charitable organizations in the Northwest Indiana and Chicago marketplace. We also have our team volunteering for places like the Down Syndrome Association in Northwest Indiana. We got together as a group and volunteered on a couple Saturdays to install drywall on the newly moved into office they were getting ready to move into in Highland, Indiana. We have volunteers for the hospice of the Calumet area on the annual hospice hustle bike ride that's held out in Lake County, usually in the fall, but not this past year. We also make major contributions. Last year, we contributed to the YMCA of Crossroads of Northwest Indiana. This year, or in 2020, we contributed to the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana, which had a great need and demand for that service. We also serve on some of these boards. One, the Campagnia Academy in Cherville. We serve on the Trade Winds through the Pirates organization. We take leadership roles in business and on industry boards. For instance, John Hasse is currently the president of the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. I am past president of that association and Construction Advancement Foundation, still serving on that board. So in conclusion, we would like to thank the NWIBRT team, Stephanie Van Diver, Andrea Pierman, for this opportunity to showcase our company. And I guess we'll be turning it back over to Stephanie to take some questions.
Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much for a great presentation. We appreciate all those who have attended. If you have any questions that you would like presented to Hasse Construction, please enter them in the questions and send them over to us. We do have one that has already come through, and that is, what large projects do you see coming to Northwest Indiana in 2021?
Well, since I handle some of the sales and business development here, I will say that we see quite a few clients. The large clients aren't doing as much work as they used to. A lot of the smaller industrial clients are very busy, and luckily for the Northwest Indiana group, we're getting a lot of Illinois transfers from the disgruntled tax laws and impacts there, moving them to Northwest Indiana. I can tell you that there are a lot of large projects in the hopper, and hopefully we'll all be able to partake in those jobs as they materialize this year.
Wonderful. Next question. This is, as working with you and seeing how you guys work together, you really do have a family culture, it seems and feels, at Hasse. How have you created that culture? How has it benefited you? And how do you maintain that?
Well, I'll let John Hasse start with that one because I don't want to take all the questions. And then, John, if you don't want it, let me know.
I think part of it talks about like what Bill talked earlier about, you know, you want to be treated and you want to treat people like you want to be treated. You know, we're just regular guys. We're lucky enough, blessed enough, worked hard enough to make this business work. It wasn't always easy. We were nearly bankrupt years ago, 30 years ago, back in the mid 80s. So, you know, good things happen to good people. Maybe we work hard, we treat people right, and you know, I think we're you know, pretty, you know, we're decent people and we get along with people, and I think our employees enjoy working here.
Excellent. Okay, next question. What's the biggest challenge keeping up with new technology in the construction process?
Well, I'll have to pass that one on to somebody that knows technology because it left me a long time ago. I'm still from the slide rule era. So Billy, could you help us out on that one?
Yeah, you got your computer working today, so that's good. Yeah.
Thanks. I got his computer working today.
So yeah, technology's, you know, ever evolving, and ever since I kind of came into the business here, you know, 4 years ago, we've evolved with our software. So we're using CMIC, which is kind of an ERP system. So it's kind of company wide from the office to the field to accounting. Really is a one-stop shop for all of us for data transfer, drawings, cost control, project control, everything like that. So getting integrated with that, you know, has been a challenge, and you know, it's tough to change and tough to get, you know, technology integrated with everybody. But as we've progressed with that, we've added in other softwares throughout, and companies keep evolving and changing, the tech companies, and new softwares come out, and just kind of learn and adapt. And we're always getting updates on our software that we're using now and got to retrain. So just being diligent with it and keeping everybody up to speed on what's going on and getting full use out of the tools that you're giving them, because sometimes you don't fully utilize everything you have. But here we always try to make sure we're fully utilizing everything, and it's been nice.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, we have a lot of questions that came through. I'm sorry that we don't have time today to get through all of them. But I just did want to follow up. This episode will be featured on NWIBRT's YouTube page. So subscribe to our channel, follow us along on our social media channels. A big thank you today to Hasse Construction for all of your time, energy, and effort in putting this program together. It has been a pleasure working with you. Thank you for all of our attendees and for all of our members for your commitment to NWIBRT and all that you do. Everyone have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Thank you.